Hello innovators and welcome to lesson 4. In this lesson you will be able to credit the source in your body paragraphs. For the purposes of our lesson we are going to be using the term credit a source, but sometimes you might hear the other teachers or other professionals refer to this as citing sources. It's the same thing. Remember that a source is where we got our information from, all the information that fueled our writing. So we want to credit the source because of 3 reasons. Number 1, we want to avoid being accused of cheating or copying. This is actually called plagiarism. Plagiarism is when you use somebody else's ideas in your writing and you don't give them credit. And so this is a really serious thing. You never want to plagiarize. You can actually get kicked out of school. You can get kicked out of college for plagiarizing. Number 2, we want to give respect where respect is due, which is why I put these pictures here. So remember that the whole reason that you are able to write this informative essay is because you did the research. You researched different sources, and so the authors of those sources taught you. So you want to be respectful of that. And third, you want to represent yourself well, as knowledgeable. Nobody wants to read an essay on a topic that is not true or accurate. So the best way to prove to your reader that what you're writing is true and accurate is to credit the source. So what exactly does it mean to credit the source? So it means that you tell your reader where you got the information from. And that's it. Now there's actually 2 ways to do this, and both are fine. One of the ways is through a parenthetical citation, or what I like to call a lead-in. Parenthetical credit or citation is called a parenthetical credit because you use parentheses. These are parentheses. Parentheses, parenthetical. And so this is when at the end of your evidence statement you put the title of the source in parentheses. This is probably the easiest one for a 6th grader. So there's 2 criteria for success. It's after the whole evidence statement, but before the period, and you include the title of the source, not the website. So let me show you what that looks like. Remember from our last lesson, I made this evidence statement about the Monsoon family. I included a lot of context for my reader. So I'm going to just double check my evidence organizer to see what the source is. Where did I get that information from? So here I find Kryptonians. I'm sorry, wrong evidence. Monsoon family. Here's the Monsoon family. And it looks like I got it from the source Magic Mania, which was a title of an article, Newsella. So I'm just going to copy and paste that. And for parenthetical, it is after all of this. Not in the middle, not in the beginning. We put it right at the end. So here's the end. I just copied and pasted the source, but this is not correct. It's a good start, but remember that in a parenthetical citation, it should be in parentheses. It should also be before the period, or in this case, an exclamation point. So I'm going to undo that. And I'm going to move here and copy and paste it there. Now I have it at the end of the whole evidence statement, but before my punctuation. That way it's included in this sentence, and my reader knows that this is the source for the information before and not after parenthetical. The other criteria for success was that it's the title of the source, not the website. This is the website, Newsella. I'm going to delete that because Newsella has so many articles, so I want to be specific. So that's a lot better, but there's one more thing. I actually need to put in parentheses. So I just put my browser there, space, parentheses. The parentheses is on the 9 and 0 button, and then one more, remember, before the punctuation point, parentheses. And there I'm done. I've credited the source, informing my reader where all of the information before this parentheses, where I got it from. And there you have it. Now there's one more way to credit the source. Also pretty simple. And you want to get used to doing both. So this is called a lead-in credit. This is what I call it, at least. And with a lead-in credit, you begin your evidence statement with a phrase like, according to blank. In that first blank, we put the title of the source, comma, and then your evidence statement, period. Okay? And you can't see it there, but the criteria for success for this one is, is that it is, you would use a sentence starter like this, and again, the title of the source. So I'm going to go back, and I'm going to delete this because I don't need both. So this is if I wanted to do a lead-in. Delete that. And I just go to the beginning, and I start with something like, here I'm just going to copy and paste this so you can see the colors. According to the source, I'm going to put in, I don't need parentheses. According to, what was the title of the source again? Magic Mania. Magic Mania, parentheses, and then evidence statement. And this is, the rest here is my evidence statement. And there you have it. Now I've told my readers, I'm letting them know, everything I'm saying after this sentence starter came from this source in red. So you can say according to, or you can also say the author of, source states, or as stated in blank. And remember that we put the title of the source, not the website. So there's two ways to do it. And here are two last important things to know. Variance is key. So maybe for one of my evidence statements, I include a lead-in. And then maybe the next one in my paragraph, I put a parenthetical citation, like so. Let's pretend that this next piece of evidence came from the same source. So now I have here. Okay? Last thing is you never want to use both in the same evidence statement. I don't need both. Just one for each evidence statement.